welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, March 23rd, 2020, and the status of the lockdown turn-up movement. The stream was wild on Friday night, so wild that it got taken down because we locked down, turned up maybe just a little too hard for YouTube and Google.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun to wake up to. I obviously didn't want to, as much as I would have loved to stay on and keep drinking milk and watching other people drink, I decided that I was going to, bow out a little early. But waking up the next morning to see that you guys had all taken your shirts off and got naked, and that the guy from the Sausage Castle joined in.
Here's what happened. So the guy from we got into the Sausage Castle. So we were full on in the Sausage Castle.
Inside view.
And Kate had brought the Sausage Castle dude in. And, the dude's awesome, but there was like maybe a tinge of maybe him feeling like we were making fun of him. So we all went shirtless with him in solidarity.
Was that why? I was kind of falling asleep at that point.
No, we were not making fun of him, but I want him to know that we ride together.
I had eaten like 4 sandwiches, and I was just passing out. So,
well, the virtual tour of the Sausage Castle might have been my favorite part of the 3-hour and 20-minute Power Hour stream.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Trinidad James joined us for a little bit.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
So
Biz joined us.
It was great. So many guests. Some lessons learned. We'll avoid the quote unquote nudity. I don't think we didn't actually have any, but I think it's probably what got us flagged or whatever.
Me and Will and Biz were smoking tobacco cigarettes. I don't know. They might have been misconstrued.
Well, that's also allowed because Joe Rogan does it on every show. So, and that's run through YouTube.
Hey, but a little bit of a conspiracy
clean
here,
it up.
guys. The Elon part of smoking dope no longer on YouTube. It's cut out of the internet.
Really? Weak. That's so weak by Google. Anyways,
I was wearing that shirt during the stream, the Elon smoking dope on the Joe Rogan show shirt.
Well, maybe
Mars baby.
Maybe that just drove him over the edge. Well, we'll figure it out. We won't get kicked off next time, and we'll probably be doing it again because we're probably gonna be locked down and turning up for several more weeks. And if you haven't yet, please go and buy the Lockdown Turn Up shirt at the Barstool store. 100% of the proceeds go to Meals on Wheels to help get food to the needy during the coronavirus. So we've got an action-packed Monday for you today with a round of coronavirus updates and then a few more fun stories after that. The order is Wes, Mark, myself, and then Pat. Wes, to get us going.
All right, guys, we're going to kick it off with something that everyone is very interested in, and that's free money from the government. You guys want to know when that's coming, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the stimulus package, the checks, the free money, the government's response to millions of people losing months and months of income or losing their businesses by giving them, 2 to 3 weeks worth of money.
Yeah, socialism.
It's better than nothing, but don't expect those checks anytime soon, and don't expect them at all if you worked hard enough to exempt yourself from them in the past 2 years, which we will get to in a little bit. So first,
I don't like that.
No, you're not going to like it.
Wes, working hard doesn't have anything to do with how much money you make necessarily.
It's a direct correlation a lot of times.
A lot of times, yeah. Birth, where you were born at means a lot in that,
yes.
I think.
What I'm saying is there are people that work really, really hard that don't make great money, and there's people
Sure.
that work really, really
Of
hard
course,
that
Pat.
make great
Well,
money.
there's also, but like that's probably like, for the most part, a lot of people who work harder make more money.
Yes, more money, but not necessarily tipping the scales of what Wes is going to tell us here later in the story.
So Pat's going to get these checks.
Right, yeah.
Yep,
Maybe.
because I work the least hard out of all you guys.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, Pat, thank you for making me try to sound like a dick, but no, that's not what. Well, we'll get to it. So now the $2 trillion economic stimulus package announced by President Trump last week, now called the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, put forth by Republican senators, is running into a Democratic blockade from passing, mainly because the Dems feel the Republicans are giving too much of the relief to large corporations and not enough to American citizens. That's like the gist of the whole thing, basically, is why they really don't like it.
Yeah, so let's block them. No, just send the fucking checks, guys. Come on.
Right. Yeah, and I'll get to kind of the main, face-off that's happening. Another roadblock that GOP senators are facing is that a bunch of their GOP colleagues who would vote along with them to help get the 60 votes needed to pass the stimulus package are fucking sick and in self-quarantine, so they fucking can't vote.
Senate ran.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are on the Senate floor. I mean, I think you have to be present to vote, but they should really change those or adopt those so that these senators can vote from their homes. It's fucking 2020.
Pat, they're going to have to.
They're trying.
I'm
Pat.
going to get to the Rand Paul next story, but they're going to have to.
Yeah, they're trying. So Senators Mike Lee, Mitt Romney, Cory Gardner, Rick Scott, Ron Paul. Maybe he'd change his fucking tune now that he has coronavirus. He's in isolation too, and so they are looking into allowing these senators to vote remotely. So that brings
they're looking into it. Just set up a webcam and fucking do it. Let them send an email when it's vote time. Done.
Right. Yeah.
We had 16 guests on our video stream, including the entire household of the Sausage Castle. Like, I think they can get a vote done.
Yeah, they can figure it out. So that brings their majority from 53 to 47 to 48 to 47, and they're like I said, they're trying to do that. So now what you have is Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer in a battle of urgency versus what's right. McConnell is urging that the stimulus package needs to be passed now, including the corporate bailouts, while Schumer is saying an agreement needs to be made because this package, quote, included a large corporate bailout provision with no protections for workers and virtually no oversight. Liz Warren also voiced her concern for the proposed bill, saying that it was not a bipartisan proposal, but a Republican proposal. So she's, chiming in. And, of course, Nancy Pelosi is getting in on the action, saying the House will now propose its own bill, which will, of course, delay the now almost $2 trillion package.
Being a funding bill, though, it had to have started in the House, right?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that. But she's now trying to take it through. I think, it started in the House,
right,
and it got passed quickly in the House, but it's being blocked in the Senate now by the Dems. So she's going to try to do, her own package.
Well, that makes it a little bit more murky there.
It's because the Republicans have the majority in the Senate.
Yeah, they needed 60 votes, and they got 53. They weren't even close in the Senate. And now all the senators are 6. So
yeah, exactly. So now it's 48 to 47 for their majority.
That's a really interesting time. I mean, like that's really I can't think of any time that's happened before. It's like they used to be able to hide behind not wanting to vote because they were like in the shitter or like whatever. But
no, they're just
figure
in quarantine.
it out.
Yeah, so
what are they going to? I mean, so Pelosi's going to make a new version of it and try to alter the bailouts to be more generated towards people. Is that
right? That's
like,
the whole thing.
That they're actually going to make some substantive changes that'll be that make the difference?
Right, so she's got to deal with Mnuchin, McConnell, Schumer, and her. Those are the big 4, I guess, that need to agree before any of this money goes out to you. The Dems have gotten some good things passed, or that may or may not have been part of this package to go through, including beefing up of unemployment insurance to at least $250 billion. So lots of people are going to be claiming unemployment very soon, and already, I'll get to that a little bit later. They also got more funds to be allocated to healthcare providers and healthcare workers, and $350 billion to a forgivable loan package that would allow business owners to pay their workers even though their businesses are not operational. So looking at around $2 trillion, but will it be enough? It's being reported that 2.25 million Americans will have filed for their first week of unemployment benefits this week, the highest ever in history. And unemployment is expected to go from an all-time low of 3.5% to 9% in the coming weeks and months. And if you think you're getting that sweet check, listen up. Here is the plan. Here is what you really want to know after all that bullshit. As it stands at the time of this recording, to get the check, it would be worth between $1,200 for each taxpayer, $2,400 if you're married or file a joint return, plus $500 for each qualifying child under 16. However, basically you wouldn't get anything if your adjusted gross income is between $75,000 to $100,000 if you're single, and if you're married and you joint file with your spouse, the adjusted gross income, if you have it between $150,000 to $198,000, you wouldn't get anything. Or if you're the head of the household and it's between $112,000 and $136,000. So if you're single and making under $75,000 adjusted gross, you're gonna get something. That's good news. But if you're in that 6-figure range, you ain't getting shit.
Yep.
Basically.
Fuck you, Wes. All right. So lots of people are contracting corona, right? With I think we're at 100 billion worldwide right now. That's the count.
Yeah,
right?
100 billion.
100 billion people have it.
No, 300,000. They
300,000.
Google finally released that website Trump promised they were going to release. So,
nice.
So now there's
Good.
a Google map for coronavirus. So the worldwide count currently is 335. 335K.
Nice.
confirmed.
Okay. And I think we're at like 33,000 and counting in the U.S. And
Yeah.
there were some funny ones. There were some funny ones in the U.S. over the weekend, guys. I mean, I don't want anyone to get the coronavirus except Harvey Weinstein, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh.
The one-time titan of the movie industry and head of Miramax Films contracted coronavirus while in Wendy prison, where he was transferred to from Rikers. So he was in Rikers. They sent him over to Wendy, and he immediately got the coronavirus.
Well,
that
good
sounds
job
a
by
lot,
the-
sounds a lot nicer.
Sounds a
Yeah.
lot nicer than Rikers,
Does.
but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. It's not as clean. So good job. Good job by the virus there. That alone makes almost all of this worthwhile. That Harvey Weinstein just like contracted the virus, and I'm pretty sure what happened there is the guards rounded up all the guys in prison that were sick.
They were
and they
coughing.
let, yeah, they let exactly. If you had a cough, then what they did is that overnight they let you into Harvey Weinstein's cell where you could spit in his mouth while you were beating and raping him. That's what I think.
I don't think
happened.
they were spitting in his mouth, Mark.
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
on
they
their
were.
dicks before they shoved it up his ass.
No,
But-
the spit is used for something else.
okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
glad
you know
he
what
got
I'm talking
it. Fuck
about.
him.
You know what I'm saying when I'm saying that.
I do. Also, Rand Paul, the only senator to vote no on the first economic relief bill for coronavirus, which was a measly $8.3 billion. As you heard Wes just mention, the new ones are like $2 trillion. So Rand Paul thought $8.3 billion was too much money to give for relief for the fucking global pandemic that's called the coronavirus.
Well, it wasn't going to
And
hit
guess
the
what?
U.S. It wasn't going to hit the U.S. hard at all, Mark.
Yeah, he's an idiot, and he got the coronavirus. He contracted the coronavirus in another clear case of the virus respecting karma. Apparently, the Kentucky senator is fine right now and is asymptomatic, but he got tested not because he was sick, but because he attended a major black tie social event in Louisville, Kentucky 2 weeks ago, where basically everyone that attended has been testing positive for coronavirus. So that was a miserable event of rich people getting sick.
And I heard he was swimming in his pool the morning
He was.
before.
He was working out at the Senate gym as recently as a few days ago, sweating all over the goddamn place there. And all the senators are worried because apparently he's been like the most sociable person at lunch, like sitting way too close to people. And he
a
was in the
close
pool,
talker.
so he's just getting his shit everywhere.
He's offering to spot everyone in the Senate gym.
Yeah.
You need a spot? Let me get in
Yeah.
here and get a spot over you.
Can I
right
taste that?
after he finished running, so all the sweat's dripping from him onto their fucking head. Yeah.
I forgot since we set up the hard factor bench press, which you guys haven't had the luxury of hitting yet because we're in quarantine. But I forgot how close a spotter gets to you, and how
it's
close
like-
their dick is to your face. Like
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
close.
You
And
got to
that's
make
what
sure your head's not too far back. on
Right,
the
You
bench.
can smell the old short and curlies.
Yeah,
for sure.
so you don't want your spotter to have corona at all,
No.
especially if he's talkative.
No, and that's
Yeah, they
basically
can-
everyone now in the Senate gym. So I'm sure they're all going to get tested. There's already 5 senators or congressmen. I think it's all senators right now that are in self quarantine. That's why it went from 53 to 48 in the vote, and I'm sure there'll be more. Based on the fact that the reports are coming out that the GOP people were terrified when they heard that he got coronavirus just
Right.
because of how fucking in their face he's been. So, not good news for the Senate.
Man.
Yeah, I think Harvey Weinstein. I don't buy that he has corona. I think this is sheer
I like that
self-preservation,
theory.
isolation.
You were saying that earlier, yeah.
You
Let's-
don't
let's-
buy it?
No, I think
Because the
Wes-
walker didn't work, so
Wes-
he's
right.
going for it.
Who's
Simply.
Yeah.
putting the
no, so he
information
can
out?
get in isolation, so he doesn't get the shit kicked out of him.
Wes, is he fucking tweeting? Is he tweeting? Is he tweeting?
What do you mean?
How are we finding out he has coronavirus? Through the fucking jail system. There's
I
not
don't
a
know.
conspiracy.
Yeah, well, he's got lawyers.
You can also Pat.
He's
You
got a
think
lot
that
of
they
money.
get told all the correct information? You fuckhead. You think you just trust everyone that tweets? No.
I think that at a time like this, if the fucking jail system is saying Harvey Weinstein has coronavirus, Harvey Weinstein
They
has
could be being
coronavirus.
told that by a doctor who they paid to say that. Who the
They
fuck
also
knows?
said Epstein
get him in
killed himself.
isolation.
They also
Why?
said
Interesting.
But why? What's the motivation?
To get him in isolation away from all the other people so he has a fucking more cush jail experience.
He was already going to be in isolation, bro. We
Okay.
heard that from the inside guy.
Wes,
I don't buy it.
think it's a bad take, but I'm not real happy with the news you've been bringing to the show. You're saying we're not going to get checks, and you're saying that he's making up coronavirus. That was my favorite part of the research.
when somebody
today,
is that powerful
Weinstein has coronavirus.
in jail, you don't know what's happening.
That's
is all.
right.
Can we just say he has it, even if
Fine.
you don't
Okay,
think he does?
I'll take it back. He has it.
Thank
Thank
you, Wes. He has it.
Man.
Fine.
Did you shake hands with him?
He's got
No,
it bad.
I would not shake hands with him just because of what he's done to women.
he
Would you
got
go on
it
a
from a
cruise with him?
tear of the anus.
I'd go on a cruise with him.
All right. Speaking of cruises, let's take it to the global corona update. First up, though, what's happening in the U.S., like Mark said, 33K confirmed cases and climbing. The USA is deploying the National Guard to help manage the coronavirus outbreak in California, Washington, and New York states. And the National Guard is going to assist mostly with medical facility overflow that's expected to occur in those 3 states in the coming weeks because it is just already too far out of control in those 3 places.
And Will, is that why we were seeing tanks and shit in the street? Is that what it's related to?
I think that's what it was related to. Those things were being shipped towards those 3 states where they're being deployed, and they're going to be setting up temporary medical facilities because there's going to be too many people with cases in those states for the hospitals to handle.
So it's not a situation where if you have super corona, they're going to shoot you with a tank, which a lot of people were saying on the internet. That's what the tanks were for.
Unfounded fear there. It's
Okay.
just to help.
Oh
manage
man,
the
what a way
situation.
to go though.
Yeah.
Get up against the wall, you super corona having son of a bitch. We're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean, I
shoot you
guess-
with this fucking tank.
If it gets bad enough, we'll see what happens. In Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel is in self-isolation after her doctor, who she saw on Friday, tested positive for corona. Germany has also banned gatherings of larger than 2, so that's a nationwide
what?
quarantine, just said a
So
different way.
So
yeah.
if you have a family, you have to like isolate from your family.
Also, that sucks for group sex guys. Like threesome guys
Oh,
that's
God.
the worst news. Threesome guys.
Oh, which
Ever
place?
heard.
Yeah.
That's like half of Germany, Pat.
I know.
There was
that's what I'm
there was
saying.
a
It's
place
bad
that
country to have to
officially
ban it.
there was a place that officially banned them last week. Orgies. I forget where it was, but
Yeah,
Italy.
it was Italy.
Italy.
It was Italy. They had
That's
they
right.
had
Town
those,
in Italy.
Yeah.
They had those cabana parties. Remember, like the politician in Italy would have like the pom pom parties or whatever
Yeah.
they're called. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of orgies, here's another place, sadly, that probably has a lot of them, and that may be why it's spreading. Spain, looking more and more like Italy every day, with a death toll that is rapidly approaching 2,000. So Spain is just unfortunately shooting up the charts, just like Italy was before it.
Yeah, it's all the fun countries.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the place with the most orgies.
Yeah.
And worst of all, Italy. The situation has reportedly gotten so bad that they not only have overtaken China in the number of coronavirus deaths in the country, an Israeli doctor who's in northern Italy, which is what was hit the hardest, says that he's hearing that they no longer will be able to support the treatment of anybody over 60 who needs like a ventilator or assisted breathing in order to save the most possible lives with the resources that they have available. Basically, they don't have enough people to treat how many people over 60 are getting sick and needing hospitalization.
God damn.
so
That's young.
That's
Oy
just a
vey.
sad. That's a sad state of affairs. That's a sad indicator of how bad things have gotten there in Italy.
Extremely. Yeah, extremely. So you got to be feeling for them. And I know where I will be taking my next vacation when this all blows over because they will need the money to be, pumped into their economy. Looking
There
at,
you go. Let's all go to fucking Italy, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
bro.
over.
Small pizzas, good wine,
Yeah, let's do hard factor in Italy for a week.
Sounds good.
Peronis, Moretti's,
Okay.
those 2 beers. That's
Okay,
it.
yeah.
The 2 beers they have, everything.
Yeah, it'll be a good use of your money because they'll definitely. I mean, they'll need an influx of everything there after this all blows over. Looking ahead to the future, China is now on the watch for their second wave of the virus. Wuhan is still on lockdown, the epicenter of where it came out, and they're going to remain that way until they have 14 consecutive days of no new cases, which will be coming, sometime in April.
That's
Probably.
going to be a pretty big mental blow if they get a second wave. That's going to be tough for a lot of people to handle, that processing that information. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, they're looking. That's why they haven't unlocked Wuhan yet, and in the rest of the country, they are letting people out, but they're setting better safeguards to identify and quarantine sick people for the next round. They have crazy shit. They have you're getting temperature taken everywhere. Cops are wearing infrared masks to try to identify people with fevers on the street. It's
Holy
like
shit.
yeah, it's
That's
very
awesome.
very futuristic.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Did you guys
They're like
watch,
the Predator.
Yeah, it's just like Predator.
Yeah.
They're Predator cops. Did you
Yeah.
guys see that TED Talk that came out? That was Bill Gates in 2015, where he was essentially like, "We are not prepared for a global pandemic."
Yeah, Bill Gates has been sounding the alarm for pandemic preparedness for quite a while. I mean, he's been one of the biggest voices, advocating that people need to pay more attention to public health for a long, long time.
Yeah, if you guys haven't at home, check out that Bill Gates TED Talk. It's eerie how
He's a smart dude.
He's wicked smart, and that Bill Gates Netflix documentary was one of the most amazing things I ever saw, where it kind of went through his day and how ahead of the curve he is on what we need to be prepared for.
Well, he also predicted smartphones like a decade before they came out. I mean, he's very much ahead.
He's pretty intelligent. He also badass move, like he quit his jobs. He quit being on the board of Microsoft. Yeah, he only is just dedicating his entire life now to charity. That's it. He just like gave up like billions. He's like, and his company's doing well during this time, and he's like, fuck it, I need to help save the world.
Wes, watch the Bill Gates doc, because there are a lot of CEOs doing that, but what he's doing with his intellect and his approach to problem solving, he's like looking at problems and saying, why haven't these been solved? Let's reassess how we're looking at them from a data perspective, and he's revolutionized. It's amazing. That he's one of our greatest minds.
Yeah,
he's
indeed.
A smart guy.
Indeed, he has owned the stock market by himself pretty much since he's created Microsoft. So, anyways, China
and
getting ready for that.
I hear he fucks too.
Getting ready.
I bet he has a hammer. I know he looks like a dweeb, but I bet you really feel it when he's.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
When he's in there, you mind meld with Gates. When Gates is boning you.
You think so?
I think so.
Come on, Wes.
I'm not going to speak a bad word about Bill Gates, Big Dick Bill. What?
I'm not going to weigh in on his. I just don't think he's bringing.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm with Wes. He doesn't strike
me
as like.
He's got a fucking schlong on it.
You guys are so negative today.
He's got a venomous schlong.
No fucking way is my answer to that one.
That guy's shooting ropes.
He'll blow your back out.
Well, he's smart though. But he's smart.
He is smart. I'll give him that.
Smart.
He's a very generous guguy.
All right, guys. Let's move on from big philanthropy over there. Finally, new research published in the. That's Bill Gates' new name, Big Phil. Finally, new research published in the Journal of Nature Medicine found that the current coronavirus, which is very similar to the SARS bug from before, it's just much more contagious, is definitely not from a lab because of how effectively it spreads. Their conclusion from the research they did is that the only way that this new coronavirus can spread so effectively is from natural selection to identify the best mechanism of attaching to human hosts, and that any man-made virus wouldn't be able to adapt like this real one has been, and wouldn't be able to achieve that kind of success rate in spreading. So
hold on. I hear what you're saying, but this is offensive to us humans. This is fucking offensive to human engineering, and I don't believe it.
No, that's what the scientists are basically admitting, that science is still a bitch sometimes.
So scientists are just going to admit defeat to nature? I don't think so. I think that's
because nature is still way smarter than us, and they can still kill us if they want to. Nature over scientists.
Nature is having its way with us in 2020.
Now, nature fucks.
Nature fucks big time. Nature's got a huge cock.
Nature's got the biggest living organism as part of its thing, if you know what I'm saying.
And it's looking like in this case that it was some combination of bat and pangolin, which is like an armadillo type creature, and human interaction that led to the creation of this virus. So I was thinking like the armored bat virus or the dragon virus would be like way cooler than any of the other names that we've come up with it so far. So I'm thinking. I hope they rebrand.
The Chinese government deregulated what was able to be farmed in China, and it kind of created a perfect storm of vacuum for these wet markets. And there was the wet market in Wuhan. But essentially, the reason that there's this weird-ass shit being served at Chinese markets is because of the Chinese government's laws related to farming. So it's almost a creation of their own.
Yeah, it's an odd mixture, right? Armadillo and bat, right? Yeah.
Pre-coronavirus, wet markets were always kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies for cleanliness to be with. I'm talking about everywhere.
Mark.
Yeah.
Wet market.
They stink. There's like a bunch of stinky wet fish and shit, like guts everywhere. It's not great.
Yeah, well, and that's a weird, that's a crazy combo, right? Bat and pangolin, which pangolin is armadillo. So like, there's a bat armadillo human combination somehow. And
they don't know.
In any other context, it sounds pretty awesome and cute, but fuck.
Right, not in this one. It created a deadly virus that's going to kill a whole bunch of people.
All right, guys, so I got some feel-good Corona stories for you. And Will, thank you. That was some really important shit. Honestly, like, there's a lot of weird misinformation going around, but that it didn't get created in a lab, buku important to know.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, feel-good Corona stuff. A Missouri woman fired her cannon in a Walmart in Missouri last week, releasing one cannon baby ball.
Nice.
And luckily, the woman and the other shoppers at the Walmart, the birth took place in you guessed it, the toilet paper aisle, which is huge for both the woman and the Walmart employees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So but did they have to use all of the toilet paper that was remaining?
Most of it will. I've never seen a birth because every time they've showed us one in school, I turned away.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
But I hear there's this.
I've
thing
seen
called
one
a
live.
water
It's not
breaking.
pretty.
Yeah, what was it like live?
Not good.
Yeah.
How much toilet paper would you estimate?
It's not beautiful. Tell you that.
Go through. Anyway, guys, the process took about 45 minutes, and afterwards, sounds of customers cheering could be heard as the woman was wheeled to the ambulance with her new baby. The only downside, guys, this is a feel-good story, but the downside is for the rest of this baby's life, when he or she is asked where they were born, they'll have to say in a Walmart.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough explanation.
That's a tough one to overcome. You're gonna have to. I think the parents should lie to that kid.
Yeah, they were born in a Sam's Club at least. There's going to have to be a support group of some sort in that.
Either that, or like you could come up with like a spin on it, like you're a corona refugee, like you were born in the pits of despair of the empty toilet paper shelves. You know.
Yeah, no, the kids on the playground are really gonna lean into that angle. Will they're not gonna just call.
It's like It's like Bane.
Walmart kid.
It's like Bane from Batman Begins. He had to climb up out of the Walmart.
Yeah, and things worked out great for Bane.
That's true. We should get
He's a
this
real
kid
likable
free
guy.
college, though.
It's a good origin story.
Any kid born in Walmart should get free college. In another feel-good story, guys, a couple in New York City was married on the streets of New York by their friend from his fourth-story window this week. See, the couple had visited the New York City Marriage Bureau on Thursday and obtained a marriage license. And on Friday, as they were going back to the bureau to, quote, actually get hitched, the women received news that Mayor Bill de Blasio had shuttered the bureau indefinitely, kind of throwing a monkey wrench in their plans there. But luckily, guys, one of their friends was already ordained, so he took care of business. And one of the women, so they essentially went to this friend's apartment. He was in self-quarantine. And he yelled out the marriage ceremony and married them right there on the street. It was really sweet. Yeah,
PFT should start doing that.
Yeah,
he could from his window.
Yeah, from his window.
Does he have a window? I don't know.
I don't know if the window does the window face the street. I don't know.
He's probably in the penthouse anyway, so they probably can't hear him on the ground floor.
Since he moved, since he moved, it's weird when you go to New York. He's not like, come crash with me. I don't know what's going on in that house. It must be nice. One of the women getting married said, quote, "It was the most New York moment ever," to which I threw up, and then I smiled about, because she's been waiting to say that her whole It's so new. This is just such a
now
New York
you're
moment.
in New York.
Mm-hmm.
She said that at least 12 times.
Yeah, it's such a New York moment. Isn't it the most New York moment?
She said that about different events to the same group of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm positive.
But this is a feel good segment, guys. So good for
Okay.
her. Finally, the Penguins at Shed Aquarium in Chicago.
Well, hang on. Do you know what the most New York moment is?
What's that?
Everyone getting coronavirus there because there's too many people there and they're all next to each other. That's
Yeah.
probably a more New York moment.
The last place I would, that's not. They're. Like, I hope they can slow it down. What's going on?
It's
there?
tough there.
Well, guys, finally, the Penguins at Shed Aquarium in Chicago got to get out of their enclosures and go on a field trip the other day all around the aquarium because the zoo is closed and the aquarium is closed. So these little penguins got to walk all around and meet the exotic Amazon fishes and the fishes and animals from around the world, and it was cute as hell. And that
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was cute.
Adorable.
Yeah, all the penguins getting to walk around inside aquariums has been a real highlight. But
Yeah, that's a really good feel-good moment. Thank you, Pat. That's a good one. Yeah. I should have left Harvey Weinstein contracting it for you.
Yeah,
too,
no, I
for the
wanted to
feel-good.
put that in mine, but then we knew that Wes would have a conspiracy theory, so I'm glad we kept it in yours.
don't feel too good about it.
Yeah.
He's tricking
Hold
all
on.
you guys.
Hey, you guys know Bill Gates is in with the Rothschilds too, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, if you guys get that sweet stimulus package or sweet stimulus check and want to add $20 for free on us, and go to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20 and deposit at least $20, and we will stimulate your account by $20 for free. Let's call it the Hard Factor gambling stimulus plan or some bullshit like that. And hey, while sports are canceled, politics are just ramping up, and you can bet on them. So now is the perfect time to check out the site, play around with it a bit, read our blogs on Barstool by searching for Predict It, and they will tell you how the site works. Or it's very easy, and a person with an average IQ can learn in about 10-15 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to DM Mark. He loves fielding predicting questions. Remember, predicted.org.
I will do it.
I know you will. Remember, predicted.org/promo.
It's actually great. He'll drop whatever he's doing in his day, and do it. So you could like really fuck
true.
Mark's day up if
Yep.
you just flood his inbox with predicted questions.
That's very true.
It's very true.
Ask my wife.
All right, so predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. It's a lot of fun and a great hobby during lockdown turn up. So check it out.
I love it. Hey, guys, I'm going to pull an audible here because I don't want to do too many ads in a row. So I'm going to do my next one in the next round. But let's talk real quickly about just our lockdown turn-up shirt. This shirt is the best fucking thing out there. 100% of the proceeds go to Meals on Wheels for their COVID-19 response, where they will just be getting clean, good meals out to the elderly and disabled. That's all it's focused for. All the money is going to it. So stop what you're doing. Go to the Barstool Sports website, go to the merch page. Click on the Hard Factor tab and look for that lockdown turn-up shirt. We promise you will feel better about yourself when you do it. So if you can afford to buy one of these, do it. You'll feel good. Also, it looks really good. I think we all get our shirts this week, so we'll
Hopefully,
probably be popping those on, and you'll see them on videos coming up soon. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, lockdown and turn up, guys. Come on.
You got to do it. I mean, we're going to be in it for at least a few more weeks, especially if you live in one of those areas that Washington State, California, or New York. You're going to want to settle in for a little while now. All right, let's take it over to another global story. This one comes to us, guys, from India, and particularly the state of Meghalaya.
Go hard on it. We'll just go hard on it.
Meghalaya state
That's it.
of Northeast India. And there's a game there called Teer, T-E-E-R. And it's the only form of legal gambling in this Indian state. And, guys, it is a hell of a game. Let me tell you how it works. This little part of India is nestled between Bangladesh and Bhutan, and it probably looks like a paradise, I'm assuming, because that's like lush mountain area. And it sounds like one, too, because tossing back some cold beers and playing Teer all day sounds fantastic. So here's how you play.
It's like Shangri-La. It's like playing gambling in Shangri-La. It's just beautiful, tropical.
Yeah,
trees
beautiful, like the
an oasis.
Like the cool houses with like the sweet like horizontal
Thatched roofs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tigers
King-
out there.
King Cobras everywhere.
Yeah.
No. Hey, Wes,
Taipei, sorry.
Wes, turn your frown upside down, dog. Change your attitude on this show.
Les has like got the blues, man.
I've been getting it from my girlfriend too. She's like, I'm gonna get the fuck away from you.
just been a negative Nancy. Huh?
all
Negative
that milk
Nancy, I'm
just
sorry.
probably didn't settle well.
Well,
for me.
honestly, I did get. Our scale ran out of batteries, and I'm glad it did because I feel about 15 pounds heavier after Friday
Wes,
night.
how
Easily.
is your constitution after all that milk? How was your evening?
It was actually, I mean, like I said, I'm a milk machine. I can drink a lot of fucking milk, but
You're a self-described milk machine.
I am a milk machine. I've drinking tons of milk my whole life. It's one of my top 3 favorite beverages.
like I've previously stated, I'm a milk machine.
You were taking it
Well,
down
I am,
pretty
Mark.
well.
I'll say it again. I am a milk machine.
You were taking it down. I did a rewatch the next morning. Somehow, I was still able to watch it, and Wes was taking down quite
I
a
drank
few cookies.
52 ounces of milk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my poops were very smooth. But there was a lot of them. So yeah.
Yeah,
It
volume was
worked out
high
okay.
for me too after the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Sorry, Will.
Volume was very high.
How do we
So
play Teer?
how you play Teer, guys? This is very important. About 20 archers. They squat. I don't know why squatting is important, but they are arranged in a semicircle, and they fire their arrows. 10 minutes firing frenzy in a row, and they try to hit their arrows into a hay bale or like a bundle of straw that's 50 meters from all the shooters, 165 feet away from them. So they're all trying to hit this thing, 20 shooters, which is pretty easy to hit 50 meters away, as many times as they can in 10 minutes. I mean, they miss a lot because it's kind of a far shot, but they make a lot,
up?
too.
Are they are they all shooting at one?
They're all shooting at one target, 20
target?
people shooting at the same target.
Okay.
Okay, so the players and the spectators then all bet before the round starts how many arrows are going to end up in the hay bale at the end of the round. And you only choose a number between 00 and 99, which represents the last 2 digits of the total number of arrows in the bale at the end of the round. So, for example, if 369 arrows ended up in the hay bale, the guys who smartly chose 69 get all the payout from the pot.
And it splits.
Well, if most of the time, probably, most of the time, yeah.
Do you know how many average arrows are shot? Like, are we talking over 1,000?
This is where local knowledge is going to come in handy because the archers are paid, the archers are employed, so they're not. They like you got to know the archers' tendencies. I think.
Okay, so like you might
some
know,
guys
like,
probably line up their shot. Some guys probably just like fire away jackhammer style.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Weird Ears, he might shoot really, really quickly, whereas Funny Stance, he maybe shoots a little bit slower.
Yeah, and so this is an interesting question though because that's the way we think about it because we're thinking about sports gambling. Well, not so much here. The locals who play this game say it's all about interpreting your dreams to predict the right number, saying that certain things in your dreams represent certain numbers, which seems nuts on the surface. But I'm a guy who just got a shark tattooed on my chest because I saw a cloud shaped like a shark in the sky a couple weeks ago. So I'm 100% in on dream numbers and using them to lose your money. So if I haven't seen the whole dream chart. I saw a corpse represents a 9.
Too bad for all of us you didn't see a penis in the clouds that day.
Oh yeah,
That would have been funny.
Oh my god! What if it was Bill Gates' dick too? You would have had to use up your whole canvas. You know what I mean? Hey, but Will, real quick, you're talking about Indians from India, right? Not Native Americans, because this sounds a little bit Native American with the dream stuff.
And the arrows.
This is in
and the
now,
arrows.
Believe it or not, all humans have dreams, and all humans have used bows and arrows.
It sounds a little bit like they're addicted to gambling and have a gambling problem if they're gonna.
No, but this is great. This sounds like the fucking horse races. This sounds like a day at the fucking track.
Guys, you
get fresh air, you get people, you get camaraderie.
Yeah, I was about to take serious offense to all of your tones there because this is a feel-good story too. This ancient form of gambling is legal and loved in the state of Meghalaya, okay? And the archers are paid. Taxes get raised for the locals, and the odds are about 80-1 for the bettors. So it's like the most badass live lottery or raffle that you'll ever see. And so
it sounds amazing.
Yeah, maybe somebody takes an accidental stray arrow from time to time. I'm sure you're allowed to drink.
You keep championing the fact that the archers are getting paid, and I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah,
about that. Like
I'm gonna hold my take.
Well, the archers are getting paid, I'm sure, by multiple sources. Is my guess. I mean, something tells me that the tier regulations aren't the strongest enforced
in the
world.
You're picking up with the archer lobby or something. There's something we don't know about archers not getting paid. You keep saying it.
Well, because you'd think in a situation like this, the archers may be an abused lot here. You know?
No, I think they're working with the. I think they're working with the guys. I think you have some guy yelling "Caca!" and then they miss a lot.
That's what I'm thinking too. The archers, they're getting a little bit. They're in bed with everybody.
That would be pretty. That would be pretty challenging in a 10-minute thing with like the 50 guys. Like you have to stop on a number, so that they're like 2 minutes in and they just stop shooting.
It's hard to shave points there, but
yeah, it is.
These guys inherently have a weapon. They're archers, so they couldn't be taking advantage of that badly. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of dynamics going on. These arrows aren't like kill people arrows. They're like shoot it into a target arrows.
It's a good thing they're paid. You don't want those 50 guys turning on the crowd.
That's true. The crowd would be dead pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I think it's small towns, so like
Will, are they
hopefully
doing
they
this
don't kill their
Corona?
friends.
'Cause it sounds like a gathering of more than 10.
Well, I don't know exactly the coronavirus restrictions on tier in this province, and I don't know if they have an issue. They may be isolated enough where they don't have much of an outbreak. I hope that tier games are alive and well and that they don't have any coronavirus circulating because it sounds like a dream come true.
Will, can you blog tier? I would love to see an in-depth on this.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, guys. Well, Mark, do you want to go or am I going?
I can go back. Good call. So, guys, I can go.
He can.
Guys,
He can.
don't you like getting things for free? Do you not?
Yeah, I love it.
Of course.
With your credit card, you can get cash back, airline miles, or deals on restaurants. If you want your bank to give you more for free, you need Wealthfront. So that's like the credit cards for banks. Whether it's free hotel stays, airline miles, or points to spend where you'd like, your credit card helps you get 1% back on things you care about. But what does your bank account give you? Not much, right? It's like 0.09% or something like that.
Yeah.
I
Like
didn't even know
nothing?
my bank account even gave me anything because I never.
Well,
keep money in
savings
there.
does.
You know, it's hard
Savings
to keep
gives
money
you.
there.
Yeah, well, not with Wealthfront. With Wealthfront, you can save, plan, invest, and get financial advice all in one place. And the Wealthfront cash account helps you earn more interest on your money, nearly 3 times more than the national average of 0.9%, according to the FDIC. It's easy and fast to get started. It only takes $1 and a few minutes to open an account. You can even do it right from your phone. No paperwork is required, which is awesome because you all should be not going to banks. You should be self-quarantining. There are no fees, and your money is FDIC insured. I think up to like $1 million, I think, right? And along with making your money work harder for you, they are also giving away money to 4 lucky people. Starting on March 26th, that's coming up this week, Wealthfront will give away $25,000 each week for 4 weeks, hopefully to all 4 Hard Factor boys. That's $100,000 total in free money. See how you can qualify for the giveaway by visiting wealthfront.com/factor. Sign up for the Wealthfront cash account now, and you'll be automatically entered to win at wealthfront.com/factor. Go to wealthfront.com/factor and start earning 19 times more interest in all your savings. That's wealthfront.com/factor. And some legal requirements here. Wealthfront is not a bank. Cash account is offered by Wealthfront Brokerage LLC, member of the FINRA/SIPC. Wealthfront conveys funds to partner banks who accept and maintain deposits, provide the interest rate, and provide FDIC insurance. The APY is subject to change. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Yeah, see the official rules at wealthfront.com/factor and get in that sweepstakes there, baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Hey, guys, the full transcript of the Yeezus and Taylor Swift phone call has been released. And this is the 2016 call where Yeezus called Taylor Swift and ran one of the 2 lines of his somewhat forgettable song Famous by Swift in a call that his bionic wife, Kim Kardashian, then released in part to make Taylor Swift seem like she was a liar. Do you guys remember this phone call?
No.
Vaguely.
All right, so let me run it by you. So the line that Yeezus ran by Taylor Swift was, quote, "I feel like Taylor Swift might owe me sex," or how it came out in the song, "I feel like Taylor Swift and me and Taylor Swift might still have sex." The second line, which he didn't run by her, which is, "Why I made that bitch famous. I made that bitch famous." So he essentially called her on the phone and was like, "Yo, Taylor," and it was just really awkward. It was just essentially.
I think he was trying to feel her out to see if she wanted to have sex with him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's weird, but he was like, because my wife's right here, she's right here. You know, my wife loves this line. My wife.
Here,
loves
listen to this line. I think you should come over tonight and have sex with me and my wife.
You know, Mark.
Do you like that line?
Yeah.
Mark, you're onto something there because as I read through the transcript twice, it started to seem like absolutely some sort of a threesome proposition.
Yes.
Right.
It's clear. That's why he didn't do the really mean line. He didn't run by her.
Yeah, exactly. He added that after she didn't take him up
Yeah.
on the threesome.
Yeah, that was a
good
new
point.
line.
Right.
He kept saying, like, "This is my wife's favorite." And at first my wife was upset, but this is my wife's favorite. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, the song came out. Taylor got pissed, and then Kim released a portion of the phone call, making it look like Taylor knew about the whole line, which would have included the "I made that bitch famous" part. And to make things worse, Swift says on the call, because Kanye's like leading up. He's like, you know, so I'm going to tell you the line. And it's funny because my wife loves it. And it's funny because I've been thinking about this for 8 months. Like, he won't say it to her. You know, he's like building it up. And she's like, "What is it? Is it mean?" And he's fine. You know, after he says either she owes me sex or we might still have sex. Taylor Swift says, oh, I thought it was going to be something like that stupid dumb bitch, but it's not, so it's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, and West was like, yeah, totally agree. West,
that's when he wrote the line, like Will said, like that she gave him the line.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
West did go on to tell her that he was thinking about saying, I made her famous, without including the bitch part, which brings Swift back with perhaps the most clear definition of passive aggression I've ever seen or heard.
You don't say. She seems like such a non-passive aggressive person.
No, bro. This passive aggressive response should be in Merriam-Webster under passive aggressive. Right. So he says, West says to Swift, like, I'm thinking about saying I made you famous. To which Swift says, yeah, I mean, it's like whatever at this point, but I mean, you've got to tell the story the way it happened to you and the way that you've experienced it. Like, you honestly didn't know who I was before that. And, like, it doesn't matter if I sold 7 million albums of Fearless before you did that, which is what happened. You just didn't know who I was. It's fine.
Oh, and she thought that he wasn't going to talk shit about her after that response?
Right. So just passive aggressive backslap. So anyway, I'm not a Swift guy, guys. Not at all. In fact, I hate her. And I think...
If you cross Taylor Swift, she's going to let it go.
Well, let me tell our listeners one thing that they don't know.
Yeah, what
So
Kanye did was a dick move, though. It was a fucking
Yeah.
Well, right.
ridiculous
Well, I
dick
think,
move.
but it's like both way. Like
He started
those are
it.
two people. Those are two people that are going to not like. They're both
Wes,
going to be pretty
She
prideful.
didn't take
about
him
the
up on the
situation.
sex.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Wes, the way he started the phone call was essentially asking her to tweet the song. So he's like, I want you to debut the song. And she was sitting there being like, what? Like, why would this makes no sense organically for me
Be
to
like,
tweet
no,
So why is-
and I'm bigger than you. Passive aggressive.
Why is this news now? Because she's responding to it recently? That was
No,
a
because
recent
Kim
response?
released
Okay,
the
'cause
part of
Kim-
the call,
Kim
right?
released so Taylor the song came out. Taylor got pissed, right? Then Kim released a phone call which only included part of the situation, and it made Taylor look like a liar because it made Taylor look like she knew what was going to happen the whole time, and she was trying to spin her distaste for the song into a publicity thing. But really, Kanye did not share with her the whole thing, and essentially Kim put that out to make Taylor look like a liar, which is the case. But at the same point, Taylor Swift is a spoiled brat whose dad owned her fucking record label. And when her record label sold to Scooter Braun, who's Justin Bieber's manager, she pretended like she didn't know. There were 3 people on the board of that record label. You want to know who was on the board of the record label? Scott Boricella, someone else, and Taylor Swift's dad were on the fucking board. And Taylor didn't hear until it happened in the public. I don't think so. You're a spoiled brat.
That was a hit piece.
Sorry. Not a
Taylor
fan.
Swift hit piece.
Well, don't just
Not a
sounds like she's been cruising for a bruising with those passive aggressive comments.
Yeah. Get her, Pat. Get her.
Not a fan.
All
You're
right.
not a Swiftie?
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Guess not a fan.
All right.
All right, guys. So I talked with my mom the other day to check in and make sure her and Dad, who are both heavy smokers, are thoroughly sheltering in place. And she
good.
told me about this shitty story because it happened most recently in their hometown of Purcellville, Virginia, and it really got me angry. Like, I wanted to hire and
Here we go, Wes, with a depressing story.
And
par
hold
for the
on,
course
Wes,
today.
we call it right. Their hometown is not Purcellville. That's where they live now. Their hometown is Reston, Virginia.
oh, here comes Pat's hatred of hard workers that were in Reston. Is that it, Pat?
You want
Are
to go
you
there?
going to go into that?
No,
more?
I'm just
Okay,
saying. I'm just
okay.
saying. Let's rep one place. Not
Bring
all
back
this fucking
bring back
season.
that old
Let's get it
hometown
knockdown,
rivalry.
drag
All
out
right.
fight,
Well, where
quarantine
they
style.
where they live now, where they live now for the past, well, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So it got me angry. Like, I wanted to hire like an 80s movie bully to go teach these punks a lesson. And these punks I'm referring to are a bunch of teenagers who thought it'd be funny to go to a grocery stores and cough all over the fruits and vegetables, as
Not
well as
funny.
get near other people in the store and cough into their clothes to get a reaction out of people, which of course they did, and then posted to social media, which is how they got caught.
Man.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. That's like the licking of the ice cream and then putting
Yeah.
it back in, except during Corona.
it's bullshit.
They didn't do it to like. They probably avoided people that would just punch them, right? Like
us.
Yeah, I'm sure that we're doing it to just people like because coughing is Theo Von says like the new N-word. Coughing is the new N-word, and so it's like it gets a big reaction out of people wherever you go if you cough nowadays.
Well,
I
bet
got on my plane.
they were children, so I bet they were coughing on like tier 1 vegetables, like
They were
vegetables.
teenagers. They were
Like,
teenagers.
I want to
so.
see.
They
I
weren't
wanna see
coughing
a
on
t-
asparagus. They weren't coughing. They were coughing
Oh,
on
that's
fucking
true.
like tomatoes, probably.
apples.
Yeah.
Apples,
Yeah.
right?
I want to see.
Yeah. I don't know.
I want to see a group of teenagers cough in front of produce while Will with the Farva mustache is standing next to him.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to see them try that.
That's what I'm saying. There's some guys that go to my grocery store that you would not want to cough next to. They would just jack you up if you fucking did this to them.
And saw they were
Right.
being filmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So their parents were notified after the police found out who they were, and unfortunately, no charges were filed because there was no criminal intent, and their names were not released because they were underage. And Purcellville, Virginia, is kind of one of those towns where I could totally see some sort of like those kids being star athletes or on the football team and getting off. If there was emo kids, they would have probably been killed in this town. But nonetheless, if you are a bully in that town
cut
and see
off a finger on each of those fucks.
yeah.
They're
So
kids. They're fucking idiot kids. They're idiots.
they are idiot kids. Well, they deserve something.
A
for
punch in
fuck's
the
sake.
face.
Some,
yeah, fingers
some
are
kind
weird.
of.
I was gonna say,
kind
if
of
you're a bully-
You know what? Community service. They should have to work. They should have to do
No,
community
we
service.
don't want these kids in the community right now. They're fucking coughing everywhere. As a
Okay, well
joke.
they have
Yeah.
to clean up stuff afterwards later.
I like that, Will. I like community
Yeah.
service. I like manual
Wow.
labor.
Like a
Yeah,
good
in a basement, they should. You got to.
yeah, where they can't infect anybody, where they can only
Right.
infect each other.
right.
Or
Good
actually, Mark, you're onto something. They both have to put their fingers up each other's butts on camera. Because
Ooh.
Right. Well,
That would be very embarrassing for these kids. They obviously
they should
value
spin a-
social media.
I think they should spin a wheel and it just lands on one of 5 fingers. Pinky, thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, all that stuff.
Sharia
And
Mark.
then they
We
lose a
call him
finger.
Sharia Mark.
Something. Yeah.
Something.
Something. All right. Well, that's it.
Something.
That's it. Well,
That's
fuck
it.
those kids.
Yeah. Fuck
Something.
those kids.
Wes, are
If
your
you guys
parents
know
doing
any,
good, though?
if you guys know
Your
any
parents good?
information about
Yeah,
those
they're
kids, we'd be
sheltered,
happy. We'd be happy to share their information.
Yeah. If you're a bully,
illegally.
if you're a bully, give them a nice gut punch or
Yeah,
like
please send us a video of you hitting them in the stomach like
Yeah.
50
Yeah,
times.
hey,
Yeah.
to my college roommate Dylan, I know you're still living in Purcellville and you're jacked right now. Go track these boys down. Can you do a little recon for us and see if you can?
Anyone with a pit bull out there in
Yeah.
Purcellville?
Oh, there's so many pit bulls in
There's a
Purcellville.
few.
I think so. let's get a pit bull crew out there to scare those kids.
There's a few.
Yeah. All right, guys. There are a lot of dangerous animals, speaking of pit bulls, in Australia. Basically, everything there is trying to kill you, and you need to be pretty tough just to get by. Are there any animals you guys think of that come to mind when I say Australia?
Snakes.
A
Yeah,
Spiders.
alligators.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Wes nailed it.
crocodiles.
Right.
They have crocodiles, not
Yeah,
alligators.
I thought sharks and stuff, but
Koala
Wes nailed it
bears.
right off. Wes got it right away. Well, if you come across snakes in Australia,
I forgot the
best-
story was. I'm sorry.
the best thing you can do is run
you start
away
over, Mark?
while shrieking. Yeah. Hey guys, any animals that come to mind in Australia?
Koala bears.
Sharks, coral
Snakes.
reefs.
Wallabies.
Snakes. Pat got it. Wes was way off. Well, if you come across snakes in Australia, the best thing you can do is run away while shrieking and then call Stewie the snake catcher, obviously,
Whoa.
to come and remove the snake. And that's what residents of an R. Deer Victoria home did when they saw a large female tiger snake in their yard. They called old Stuart Gatt, a.k.a. Stewie the snake catcher, and he came over
Story
and
the
made quick.
snake catcher.
Yeah, he came over and made quick work of it. That's like nothing for him. Tiger snake, no fucking big deal. Bada bing, bada boom, snake removed. But when he was driving away with the snake in his car in the burlap sack, and then he pulled over and opened the burlap sack, he noticed that the snake had given birth to a bunch of baby snakes. Have
Look
you
at
guys
that.
ever heard a snake give birth? It sounds like a demon having an orgasm.
No.
Does it hiss? Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, I
sound
don't.
like
I made that up. I don't think it makes any noise. But one of the baby snakes, those guys. The point of the
that.
story
It just starts reciting Revelations.
yeah, it's not good. One of the baby snakes had 2 heads. It was born with 2 heads, which is why
Whoa.
we're talking about this, which is terrifying to see, I'd imagine. The mother and the baby snakes were released into the wild safely, except for the 2-headed snake, which was euthanized immediately because of what Gatt explains as the animal not being viable, and I would say is bullshit. I think that they just don't want to have 2-headed snakes out in the wild right now while Corona and other shit's going on, because if that became like the new norm, where this snake had sex with other snakes, and like a third of the snakes out there had 2 heads, you could fucking forget about it.
Why'd they let the mother go though? It was the one that produced the
Good point.
Hold on. Can you really
Why they let any of them go?
Can you really call a reactionary stomp of the boot a euthanasia? Like it wasn't the snake wasn't euthanized. He saw a 2-headed snake and he stepped on it out of fear.
Yeah. You think that's just that's what I'm saying. Like the reaction to a full-grown 2-headed snake is not good.
Yeah, it was just a Siamese snake that he saw. And he didn't just think about it.
He just shot it in the head like 70 times.
He threw it out the window of the car.
Yeah, ran over it, reversed, ran over it again, screaming.
This
I'm
is
surprised
actually
he didn't.
somewhat common though.
He should have incinerated the bag, the whole thing.
For real. Terrible.
Tiger snakes.
Well, it's a sign of the times, I'll tell you. But not everything is bad right now, especially not MeUndies, all right? This is an underwear company based in L.A., and it's the softest fabric I've ever worn. It's sustainably sourced, awesome prints, great designs. They sent elephants this time, and they got sizes up to 4XL. Yeah.
I'm wearing them right now.
I love the elephants.
They're next level.
They are really comfortable.
Unbelievable.
They also not only are they amazing feeling, but they're flattering, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
exactly.
And you could rock him like if you have a house guest and you have to get out of your bedroom in your underwear, you could almost look like you're wearing shorts.
No, Pat, that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
I'm saying you need to wear something over
it's
top
underwear,
of them
right.
unless you're trying to bang.
Exactly.
They're flattering.
Exactly. Let me get to these points. I got these covered here. I love them because seriously, the most comfortable thing I've ever worn. Excellent prints, more fun than plain colors to me. My wife claims, as Mark was saying, that they have a flattering cut that makes things appear larger than what they are, which, as we've covered in the past, is helpful for me.
Will, which, by the way, Will, all I want to know, all I want to hear in my life is your wife giving a me. We should let your wife do this commercial explaining how it's a flattering cut, because I would love to hear your wife talking about how great these undies are.
That's great. That's not going to happen. So whether you opt for solid black, which obviously you've got to do sometimes, because I'm not a psychopath, you can't do all prints. You got to have some, mix in some solids with your prints there, or a unicorn print. Whatever you want to do, you'll feel as comfortable as a cuddly kitten. It's time to end your toxic relationship with your tattered old undies. MeUndies offers endless options for those looking to up their undie game. You can choose a monthly membership, build a pack, and you can even match your undies with your other half. So no matter what you choose, you'll get a soft, sustainable pair of undies delivered straight to your door with free shipping. Win-wins all around. MeUndies has a great offer for our listeners. Any first-time purchaser gets 15% off and free shipping. That's a no-brainer, especially with the 100% satisfaction guarantee. You're not going to need to return them. They're fucking incredible. So get your 15% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com/factor. That's MeUndies.com/factor.
I mean, it looks like you've got a 2-headed snake stuffed in your pants. When
It does.
Things.
It does.
Yeah.
You look like you're packing.
I'm genuinely going to use that code.
From all angles.
Yeah.
Attack from all angles.
Someone just tries to shoot your crotch.
Yeah.
No.
Kill it. When they
Is there a
see you
photographer
nude,
here?
Everyone but your wife or girlfriend will say, "Kill it."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, let's go to some voicemails real quick. So this is the first one. This is from Courtney from Georgia.
This is Courtney from Georgia. I'm calling because I just want to thank y'all for being the bright spot in my day. I got 2 kids that are currently obviously home from school, so I'm in homeschool hell. It's exhausting. My husband is actually an ER physician in one of the hot spots for the virus down in South Georgia, so he has no idea when he's going to be home. So he's been gone for a week. He is fighting with all the other healthcare professionals that are awesome on the front lines and has no idea when he's going to be home and has a strong possibility that he is going to be infected. And so, honestly, the now hour a day that I get to listen to the podcast with headphones on, obviously, because my 5-year-old doesn't need to know everything, is great. And I just want to thank you because at this point, this and my glass of wine every night are like the highlights of my day. So, anyway, keep doing the good work, and thanks so much.
Oh, man.
Love that.
Thank you, Courtney.
I listened to that earlier and was so happy. I was so happy to listen to that. It's great.
Yeah, hopefully your husband stays safe, and thank you for all he does. And that's
Yeah, I mean that's
good.
that's one half of the story. I mean people like Courtney's family who's sacrificing a lot to help people stay safe. The other half of the story is
That's huge.
the folks who are getting laid off, and so everybody has to keep those people in mind right now.
I mean, look, we're all being selfish and pussies when it comes to. We're doing the right thing for self-quarantine, but obviously everyone hopes you don't get it. These healthcare workers are walking into it every day, every goddamn day. I mean, imagine that. Just walking in every goddamn day knowing that you're going to be exposed to it completely.
And like she mentioned, not even that, like working like way overtime, like working while you're tired and stuff like that.
So selfless.
And so this is like the best time to get a glass of wine, to get some laughter, and I promise you, Wes will be more cheery the rest of the week.
Yep.
I like, you know what? I like Wes hating everything and being upset. To me, that brings me more joy. That brings me more joy. The sadder Wes gets, the happier I get.
It? Okay, let's let her ride. All
right,
guys. What I can do.
This next one is from our boy Big Ounce.
What's up, fellas? It's Big Ounce reporting live from Chicago, 24 hours before this stay indoors, shelter-in-place order is set to take effect. Contrary to popular belief, the dispensaries here are not considered essential unless you have a medical card. I was speaking with my local liquor dispensary, and they are closing at promptly at 5 p.m. tomorrow on the 21st, along with the dispensary by me at my hometown. So I am currently cruising down 290.
Go Ounce.
80 miles an hour.
Go Ounce.
It's fucking awesome at 5:45 at this time. Usually it takes like hour 45 minutes. I'm having a ball. Going to my local drug dealer. Gonna get some weed for the the times ahead. Stay
Stock up, Ounce.
Turn up, boys.
That's
that was Ounce telling us that unfortunately there was a previous call on our previous show where people were asking if dispensaries were going to be essential businesses, and in certain states they are, but apparently in Chicago they're not, according to our local correspondent Big Ounce.
And the liquor thing he mentioned is even bigger. I think for most people probably don't have the dispensary thing as an option right now, but a lot of states are choosing whether or not they're going to leave liquor stores as part of the essential or not, and it's changing state by state, just like the marijuana. So,
which is
I bought two handles of vodka recently, and I'm gonna have to probably buy a couple more.
Texas, you got to make sure you stock up because they're going to shut down the liquor stores in Texas.
Texas even ain't that bad. There are certain states where, like Maryland, Tennessee, in some respects, where they don't sell wine in the gas stations, or I think Maryland they don't sell them in the grocery stores either. You have to go to a specific liquor store.
Pennsylvania shut down all their, when I was there last week, they shut down all their liquor stores. So the only alcohol you could get was in a few of their grocery stores. They sometimes now sell like wine and beer.
Do they really? I thought it was all packaged bullshit.
You're gonna be limited to grocery stores and gas stations eventually. So
hey, but Ounce, much like the healthcare workers, shout out your drug dealer who's staying open for business during these trying times. Mine is still missing, and he kind of supplies all of us down here in Texas. So it's just it's tough.
By the way, if the ventilation's not great in Big Ounce's area, like everyone's gonna get high. Like let's assume he lives in like an apartment complex.
He's like Pigpen. Big Ounce is a Pigpen with weed instead of dirt around him.
He's the guy you want to live right above with the vents.
For sure.
All right, guys. Finally, one. This is Peter from Madison.
What's up, guys? It's Peter from Madison, Wisconsin.
Nice.
I just want to shout out how awesome your live show was tonight. I really appreciate it. Especially, thanks for getting me lit and buying a shirt off your website. I personally work for a company that gives their time to Meals on Wheels. So it was a hell of a lot easier to give my money to them. Anyways, I was enjoying some Great Dane beers from Madison and loved the hell out of it, and wanted to get your take on some music while you guys are getting locked down and lit up. So let's hear it. I'm personally listening to a Slipknot and some rap and fucking everything. So what are you guys listening to? Let's hear it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so music choices for the lockdown.
And he bought a shirt, which was awesome.
Yeah. Fuck yeah! I've personally been listening to a lot of punk rock music. I've been going old school. I've been listening to a lot of '90s, late '80s punk rock, a lot of Offspring, No Effects, some ska stuff. Going back to the roots, honestly, guys. Going
Yeah.
back to the roots, I'm always spinning Yeezus, consistently spinning Yeezus. I've been spinning some Rage Against the Machine, getting ready for their summer tour. That's not going to happen. That's me.
Nice.
Yeah, let's hear Wes's answer because I think this might answer a few things.
Well,
Radiohead.
No, not at all. You fucks with your Radiohead bullshit. No.
Some other
so
depressing
usually,
shit.
no. The honest answer is usually like if I'm driving the little guy to school or something, I'm either listening to jazz or reggae in the morning, and then as soon as he gets out of the car, that turns to Howard Stern, and then the rest of the day is pretty much Howard Stern for the rest of the fucking day. But if
Blues.
in the morning, it's reggae or jazz, and then I'll check out whatever. I like some Outkast or I'll listen to some Radiohead, but it's mostly Stern on my radio, to be 100% honest.
That's true. You're a big Stern guy.
Yeah.
But you want me to go, Mark, or you?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I pulled up my Spotify, so I won't fib. And the two things I've been listening to most recently is Lil Wayne and Sturgill Simpson. So
Nice. Yeah, I've been listening to like the best of 2018, best of 2019 that Spotify graciously created for me. So the songs I've been listening to a lot. And like Pat, I've been going back to my roots and I've been listening to like full albums. So I'm putting on like an album and letting it play through. Like Sublime is kind of like our generation's The White Album.
It's been coming back, honestly. Mike.
Sublime, such a great album.
Sublime's been coming back big time for me.
That CD, really good start to finish. So
I heard
I'm
Santeria on the
It is.
radio the other day,
Yeah.
and it was just what a
I'm listening
what a
to,
breath
like,
of fresh
classic
air.
albums like all the way through, and I'm like, holy shit, this album's great. But yeah,
All right, guys. Well, that's that. Hey, before we go, I'm going to say one more thing. So those are our voicemails. If you want to get at us, you can voicemail us at 512-270-1480. Leave a message, leave a question. We'll be happy to answer them on air. Again, we're doing these 1 hour long shows just because, hey, man, you ain't got to commute, and we all need a
Lockdown,
little
turn
more
up.
content in our life. But before we close out, I do want to say we have been getting some text messages, and we don't ask for text messages, so these are mostly people confusing our number with someone else's number. And
Yes.
I think something that's going on here is there's a really Playboy guy or gal that used to have this number or has a number very similar to our number, because we've been getting a series of text messages related to hooking up. So the one that came in on Friday said, hey, I'm not sure if you have the same number, but hi, I miss you licking me.
yes,
That's true.
Well, but also now we got to be
That could have been
yeah.
either mine or Will's wife because we've been wearing the MeUndies a lot.
That's
That's true.
That's
okay,
true.
And then when we first launched our voicemail, we got this going on. This was, anyways, I genuinely do miss talking to you sometimes. I hate that what happened, but I'm not sure what else I am supposed to do. Anyways,
Yeah.
let
And
me
what
know if
happened
you
was
wanna
a
try
was a
these things
terribly
again.
violent orgasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Also give our
Interesting.
number if you want to ghost somebody. Great use of our voicemail number.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So,
agree.
that's just also something that you can throw in the old tickler file there.
We want to hear from you guys if you think that this is a prank, or maybe we have the wrong number, and if we should continue keeping these text conversations up. And we will do it for you if you want. Anyway, hit us up 512-270-1480. Make sure to check the shirt out.